Hey everybody, Maction here, and today we are looking at the EcoTank2550. It is the entry-level printer in the EcoTank line by Epson, but it is also significantly more expensive than what you would expect if you were basing your ideas on a printer from basically every other printer you had ever seen. The dividing line between this and sort of other printers that are on the market comes in features, both in a sort of positive and negative way. For example, for the same price, you can get a printer that prints two-sided, will do faxes, and even make a mean espresso for, well, less than the $400 that this one costs. So you might be asking, why, Mac? Why did you pay more to get a printer with fewer features? I'll tell you why I got one of these. It's because I print a lot of pages, and the ink on this is so much cheaper. Naturally, the amount of ink that comes in a cartridge varies from brand to brand and from style to style, and each printer kind of handles their printing in a slightly different way, so much so that it's kind of difficult to make a straight comparison between milliliters of ink to pages that you get out of them because of the different ways in which they handle their ink. However, I believe everyone can certainly agree that, well, printer ink is very expensive. With the EcoTank printers, this is not quite as true. For example, instead of cartridges, you have reservoirs. No microchips, no nothing. And as a matter of fact, very frequently, the printer will remind you through a little pop-up on the computer that says, hey, make sure there's enough ink because we're not keeping track of that. So aside from that, it's a fairly normal printer. Flatbed scanner on the top. The controls on the face are fairly simplistic. Color or black and white copies, connect to Wi-Fi, or connect it over USB with a cable. You gotta bring your own cable though. And a general trouble button. If issues arise, it will tell you on your computer what you need to do. Printing to the printer is just about the same as it is with any other network-connected printer, or USB-connected printer if you wanted to go that route, so nothing really to report here. But of course, the big deal is the ink, so let's focus on that. The printer that I was using before this one was an HP, and each cartridge was $35 a piece. It required 4, and $120 for a combo pack of blue, red, yellow, and black. Each cartridge came with about 5 milliliters of ink inside of them, and it claimed that you should be able to print around 200 color pages between the 3 colors, and 400 to 800 black and white pages, naturally, depending upon how much black ink you were using. With the EcoTank, however, it claimed 3,600 pages with the bottles provided. And on the subject of those pages, when placed the ones from the EcoTank side by side with the old HP, there's really no appreciable difference in the quality of, say, the black and white copies, or even the color copies. It's pretty much a pair of sixes with regards to the printer before and the printer after. Each bottle containing 70 milliliters, and $48 for a whole set that you pour into the reservoirs. There is definitely one little quirk that I noticed that I wanted to make you aware of, but that certainly wasn't a deal breaker for me. And that is, after you finished printing a page, there would be a brief, high-pitched tone. While the tone's no big deal, if you were working in a very quiet office, I could see how that could be very frustrating. But for me, not a big deal. At the end of the day, what I really wanted was inexpensive prints, and that is exactly what I got. Everybody's arithmetic is going to be a little bit different in whether or not the sort of savings on ink balance out the extra money you spend up front on the printer. But for me, it would only take around the neighborhood of 6 months before I saved on ink what I spent on the printer. So, for me, it was a great decision, and it's really cool to see Epson doing something a little bit different and shaking up the industry just a touch. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed, and if you have, a comment or a like goes a long way. Clicking on any of the videos will take you to a corresponding playlist for conventions, reviews, tutorials, and even Android games. And be sure to be subscribed so that you will be notified of new videos as they come out. Thanks again, and I'll see you around.